My name is Brianna Harper, and at 32, I'm just barely making it as a freelance designer here in Tucson. It was a Saturday morning when my phone started going crazy, buzzing nonstop on the kitchen counter. It was the group chat lighting up. My brother Dylan, who's 28, had posted a photo of a contract that was signed. The caption read, "Grandpa was smart to leave the bakery to me. Sold it. Invested the 450 grand. Big moves." Instant hearts started pouring in. Aunt, uncle, cousins, everyone was dropping fire emojis. "Proud of you, kid. Future millionaire." I just stared at the screen, my coffee getting cold in my hand. I typed as fast as I could, "You actually read the will?" Silence. 30 seconds felt like 30 minutes. "Mom, what? Did I forward the email that I had opened like 5 minutes earlier?" The subject line was from an attorney named Evelyn Sharp. Self-dug grave. Those were her exact words. The signature on the transfer doesn't match the original. Not even close. Dylan's profile pic was still grinning under the sold sign. My pulse stayed steady, cold, and sharp. Grandpa's bakery wasn't just about flour and ovens. It was the one place he ever said that I truly belonged. And now, it was gone. Turned into crypto bets by the brother who never even touched a rolling pin. If you've ever watched someone cash in your legacy while the family cheers, drop your story below. Hit subscribe. We're just getting started. Every summer for 10 years, I drove my beat-up Honda straight from my college dorm to Tucson. 4 hours on I-10 with the AC barely even coughing out cool air. The desert seemed to stretch on forever. But the second I hit Speedway Boulevard, the smell of yeast and cinnamon just pulled me right back home. Harper's Hearth sat right on the corner lot. Red brick faded from the sun, with a neon sign flickering, "Open since 1965. Grandpa Clyde would always wait at the back door, his apron dusted white, waving me in even before the engine had a chance to cool down. He started his routine at 4:30 sharp. "Bread waits for no one. Brianna," he'd say, handing me a steel bowl that felt as heavy as a dumbbell. I measured out flour by feel. 6 cups for the sourdough starter that he had kept alive longer than I'd even been breathing. His hands, weathered from decades of kneading, guided mine through the dough. Fold, press, turn. "Feel the gluten build," he'd instruct, his voice low over the hum of the mixer. Sweat would bead on my forehead under the industrial fans. But I loved the rhythm, the way the mass transformed from a shaggy mess to a smooth ball. Dylan never showed up before noon. My brother would roll in around 11, his hair messy, phone in hand, always complaining about the heat. "Why start so early?" he'd groan, grabbing a fresh roll from the cooling rack without even asking. Grandpa would shake his head, but he always let it slide. Dylan would film quick clips for his followers, behind the scenes at the family biz, and then vanish to edit, leaving crumbs all over the counter. He talked a big game about expanding online, shipping nationwide, but never even touched the ovens. Orders piled up. I boxed them all up after closing. Aunt Lorraine handled the numbers from a small office off the kitchen. Dad's younger sister, she always wore reading glasses on a chain, tapping away at a calculator that clicked like rain on tin. She'd arrive at 8, coffee in one hand, ledger in the other. "Morning, kiddo," she'd greet me, sliding invoices across the desk. I helped count receipts on slow afternoons, learning how margins worked, why wholesale flour prices always spiked in July. She explained deductions, payroll, the quiet stress of keeping the lights on when tourist season dipped. One July evening, after the last customer had left, Grandpa called us into the office. The shop smelled of vanilla and charred crust from the final batch. He pulled a yellow legal pad from the safe, pen scratching steady. "Time to put it in writing," he announced. I watched the words form. The bakery, the recipes, the building, everything. "To Brianna Harper upon my passing. No conditions, no split." He signed with a flourish, dated it, and then handed the pad to Aunt Lorraine. "Witness this." She nodded, adding her signature below. "Smart move, Clyde." Then she grabbed her phone. "Nothing fancy, just a flip model with video." "For the record," she said, propping it on a stack of cookbooks. Grandpa read the will aloud, his voice clear, explaining why. "Brianna gets the heart of it. She's got the hands, the patience." The clip lasted 2 minutes, his face filling the screen, apron strings tied tight. He saved it to a small USB drive labeled in marker, Hearth. Aunt Lorraine tucked the drive and a photocopy into an envelope, sealed it, and locked both in the safe. Insurance, she whispered. Dylan wandered in midway, yawning. What's all this? Grandpa waved him off. Family business. Go close up. My brother shrugged, pocketed a cookie, and disappeared. He never asked for details, just assumed the place would fall to him as the guy. Mom reinforced that at dinner later. Paula Harper, bank teller by day, so proud of her son's entrepreneurial spirit. Dylan's got vision, she said, passing potatoes. You focus on your art degree, sweetie. I bit my tongue, tasting yeast on my fingers. Those summers built more than just loaves. Grandpa shared stories between rises. How he bought the shop with VA loan money after the war, courted Grandma with free eclairs, survived 2 recessions by bartering bread for rent. He quizzed me on ratios. Let me experiment with rosemary focaccia that sold out in hours. Dylan contributed ideas like slap a logo on mugs, then napped in the storage room. Aunt Lorraine balanced the books, catching errors before they hurt, teaching me to spot discrepancies in supplier bills. By August, my arms ached from proofing baskets. But I craved the routine. Grandpa slipped me the master key one night. This opens everything, he said. Earned it. The safe held deeds, old photos, the envelope with the will. I never opened it, just trusted the process. Dylan mocked the early hours, called me dough girl in texts, but Grandpa's nod meant more than any like on social media. Aunt Lorraine filmed casual moments too. Me piping cream into profiteroles. Grandpa tasting batter off a spoon. She backed everything up to that USB, a digital archive of the shop's soul. One day you'll need proof, she told me privately, away from Mom's ears. I laughed it off, 22 and invincible, packing for senior year. Little did I know that the envelope would sit untouched for a decade, gathering dust while life pulled me freelance, far from the ovens. 3 days later, I opened my laptop at a corner table in a Tucson coffee shop, the kind with mismatched chairs and baristas calling out orders over indie rock. The screen glowed against the morning glare filtering through dusty windows. An email notification sat bold in my inbox. Sender, Attorney Evelyn Sharp. Subject, Urgent Bakery Transfer Review. I clicked. The message loaded slow on public Wi-Fi. Evelyn Sharp wrote in crisp paragraphs, reviewed the sale documents you forwarded. The signature on the transfer agreement does not match the handwriting in the original will you scanned last year. Loops are compressed, pressure inconsistent. This isn't a minor discrepancy. She attached side-by-side scans, Grandpa's flowing cursive from the will versus tighter, hurried strokes on the closing papers. Recommend freezing any proceeds until verified. Call me. My fingers hovered over the trackpad. Dylan had signed those papers. I pulled up the family messenger thread on my phone, scrolling past the weekend frenzy. He posted updates hourly after the sale. 10:15 a.m. Monday. A screenshot of a bank alert. $450,000 incoming. Caption, seed money for the empire. 11:02, a link to a crypto exchange wallet address. Blurred, but balance visible, already converted half to Bitcoin. HODL till gang, he wrote with rocket emojis. I screenshotted every post. 12:47, Dylan shared a meme about quitting the 9-to-5, tagging local friends. 1:30, a photo of new laptop boxes, tools for the trade. I captured them all. Timestamps intact. 2:09, a voice note. His laugh echoing. Told you the old man picked right. This cash flips itself. I saved the audio file, renamed it Evidence 01. Evelyn Sharp's firm handled Grandpa's estate basics years ago. Simple stuff, no contests expected. I dialed her number from the email signature. She answered on the second ring. Brianna Harper. Glad you called. Her tone stayed even, professional. The notary stamp raises flags too. Data lines, but the emboss pattern is off. Common in rushed forgeries. She paused. Not accusing yet, but we need the original will for comparison. I explained the safe at the bakery. The envelope, I remembered. Dylan has access now, she hummed. Get it secured. I'll draft a hold letter to the title company. We set a video call for the afternoon. Hanging up, I archived more chats. Dylan bragged about margin trading at 320. Posted gains of 20 grand by 4. Easy money, he typed. I noted the exchange name, copied wallet IDs from his stories before they expired. The coffee shop buzzed around me, clinking mugs. Keyboard taps. I created a new folder on my drive. Bakery proof. Dropped in the email chain scans. 52 screenshots. 3 voice notes. Labeled subfolders. Signatures. Transfers. Crypto posts. Dylan kept feeding the thread. 506 a poll for followers. Invest in NFTs or DeFi. 80% pick DeFi. I saved the results. Evelyn Sharp emailed again. Mid-state bank records request form attached. Sign and return. Will trace the wire. I filled it digitally. Authorized access to Grandpa's old business account. Dylan managed it. After the funeral, Mom insisted he was good with numbers. I forwarded transaction alerts. He shared outgoing wires to offshore exchanges labeled Growth Capital. Each one chipped away at the principal. By 6, the folder hit 2 gigabytes. I backed it up to the cloud, enabled 2-factor authentication. Dylan's final post that day. Sunset photo from a rooftop bar. Caption, living the dream on legacy funds. Comments rolled in. High fives from high school buddies. I screenshotted the metadata. Location tagged downtown Tucson. No mention of debts or buyers yet. Evelyn Sharp confirmed receipt. Solid start. The crypto trail helps. Blockchain doesn't lie. She scheduled a courier for the physical will if I retrieved it. I mapped the bakery route in my head, 20 minutes across town. Dylan lived 5 blocks away now. New condo bought with earnest money. I closed the laptop, paid for the cold latte, and stepped into the evening heat. The evidence stacked clean, undeniable. That evening, the group chat buzzed again on my phone while I unpacked groceries in the kitchen. Notifications stacked rapid fire. Dylan dropped a new message at 7:12. Phase 2. Who's in for a food truck fleet? Harper's on wheels. Need $50K each from 5 partners. ROI in 6 months. He tagged me, Mom, 2 cousins, and a high school buddy turned investor. Attached a mock-up logo, cartoon sourdough with $signs for eyes. Replies flooded in. Cousin Mark, count me in for 20. Uncle Ted, smart pivot kid. Dylan followed with a Google Doc link. Business plan projected revenue from festivals, corporate catering. Bakery sale funded the prototype, he added. I opened the doc. Page 1 listed assets, the $450,000 as seed. No mention of debts or liens. Page 3 showed mock-up locations across Arizona, branded wraps on trucks. Mom jumped in at 7:19 with a voice message, 3 minutes long. I played it on speaker. Dylan's thinking big, everyone. The bakery was Grandpa's dream. But times change. Trucks reach more people. Mobile, modern. Brianna, support your brother. He's carrying the family name forward. Her tone carried that familiar edge, the one reserving praise for him alone. She ended with heart emojis. I typed back. The sale isn't final until paperwork clears. Sent. Dylan responded instantly. Already closed, sis. Title company wired yesterday. Stop raining on the parade. He posted a photo of the first truck chassis in a warehouse. Caption, build starts tomorrow. More tags, more commitments. Cousin Lisa pledged 10 grand. Dylan created a Venmo pool link, pinned to the top at 8:05. He shared a contract template for partners. Simple IOU, no collateral, signed digital, funds by Friday. I downloaded it. Scanned clauses, vague repayment terms. His signature at the bottom as CEO of Harper Mobile Eats LLC registered that morning per the footer. Mom commented, proud mama moment. Dylan always had the hustle. The chat scrolled nonstop. Dylan outlined menu tweaks, gourmet grilled cheese, artisan donuts to differentiate from competitors. He quoted suppliers, bulk flour deals locked in leveraging old contacts. He wrote a cousin asked about equity split. Dylan, I hold controlling 51% for vision and execution. No one pushed back. 9:20 Mom sent a private message. Call me. I ignored it, muted the group temporarily. Dylan kept the momentum. Live poll, first city Phoenix or Vegas. 1. He promised mock-ups by morning. Teased franchise potential from one shop to a chain on wheels. 10:01 he uploaded a video walkthrough of the warehouse space leased under the new LLC. Empty bays, roll-up doors. His voice narrating expansion phases. Phase 1, 3 trucks. Phase 2, 10 comments cheered. Mom, that's my boy. I unmuted, watched the thread hit 200 messages. 10:43, Dylan direct messaged me. Loosen up. Grandpa would want growth, not stagnation. Attached a meme. Old man thumbs up with innovate or die. I left it on red. The group shifted to logistics. Who handled permits? Insurance quotes. Dylan assigned tasks, volunteered himself for branding. 11:11 Mom shared a throwback photo. Dylan at 16 behind the counter, apron too big. From helper to leader, likes poured in. Dylan replied, full circle. He outlined funding tiers. Bronze for 5K, gold for 25. Pledges tallied in a shared spreadsheet. Already 90 grand committed. 11:30. The energy peaked with voice notes overlapping. Dylan hyped tax advantages of the LLC, pass-through losses. Mom chimed in, contribute or step aside. Family unites. I screenshotted the spreadsheet, noted names and amounts. 11:58. A private notification slipped in from Aunt Lorraine. Timestamp 22:41. Got the USB with Grandpa reading the will. Still in the safe, envelope sealed, video clear as day. Come get it before anyone else does. No emojis, no extras, just the facts. I stared at the screen, kitchen light harsh overhead. The group chat kept pinging in the background. Dylan sealing deals with digital handshakes. The next morning, Dylan FaceTimed me from his garage, the call popping up while I poured cereal. His face filled the screen, eyes wide, background cluttered with toolboxes, and the new truck chassis under a tarp 812 sharp. Brianna, pick up emergency. I accepted, bowl in hand. He paced in front of a workbench, phone shaky. The bank locked everything, joint account, business line frozen. Title company called, said, hold on the wire. His voice cracked, higher than usual. 450K gone from access. What did you do? I set the cereal down. Sent proof to Evelyn Sharp. Signatures don't match. Dylan stopped pacing, leaned closer to the camera. I signed what the buyer gave me. Sweat beaded on his forehead despite the AC unit humming. He pulled up his banking app on another device, tilted it toward me. Balance 0. Available pending hold notice. Skylar appeared behind him, still in spa scrubs from the night shift. Dylan's wife grabbed the phone, studying the frame. Tell her, Dylan muttered off-screen. Skylar hesitated, then spoke direct. I saw the transfer papers. Dylan added, your name to the signature line, said it was routine, Grandpa's old habit for shipments. Her eyes darted to him. I knew it looked off, but figured the sale covered it. We put earnest money on the condo. Dylan snatched the phone back. We're screwed. Crypto wallets tied to the account. Can't move positions. Margin calls incoming. He scrolled frantic through exchange alerts. Red numbers flashing. Lost 30 grand overnight. Need liquidity now. I stayed calm. The will names me sole heir. You transferred without authority. Dylan's face flushed. Mom said it was fine. Joint decision. After Grandpa passed, he switched to speaker, dialed the bank on another line. Hold music played loud. Representative says legal hold from Sharp's office. Reversal pending review. Skylar interjected again, voice lower. The condo deposit non-refundable. Closing in 2 weeks. If funds freeze permanent, we lose it. She rubbed her temples. I told Dylan to wait, verify, but he rushed the buyer. Dylan shot her a glare. You signed the mortgage app too. He hung up the bank line, slammed a wrench on the bench. Fix this, Brianna. Call your lawyer off. I shook my head. Too late. Evidence submitted. Dylan listed assets allowed, truck deposit, equipment orders, marketing budget, all tied to the wired money. Vendors want payment up front. Contracts void if no cash. Skylar pulled him aside, whispered, Audible? Tell her about the loans. Dylan faced the camera again. Personal line for 20K maxed on promo gear. Interest kicks in Friday. He showed credit card statements, balances climbing, food truck partners asking for wires today. Spreadsheet commitments. I asked for specifics. Dylan shared his screen email from title company funds escrowed per attorney request. Release requires court order or mutual agreement. Timestamp 7:45 a.m. He refreshed crypto positions. Another dip down, another 15%. Stop loss didn't trigger. Skylar took over. We thought the sale cleared everything. Dylan handled probate, shortcut. Said Mom co-signed power of attorney. She produced a document on her phone, zoomed in. Mom's signature below Dylan's dated post-funeral. I witnessed but didn't read. Close. Dylan paced faster. Buyers threatening lawsuit for breach. Earnest money clawback. He opened vendor invoices. Oven installs, wrap graphics, permits. Totals exceeded frozen amount. Cash flow negative already. I recorded the call discreetly. App running in background. Dylan rambled options, bridge loan, sell the chassis, crowdfund partners. Bailing if no progress. Listed household impacts, car payment due, spa rent increase. We skipped insurance premiums to free cash. Dylan begged, split the hold, let half through for trucks. I'll repay the rest slow. His garage door rattled open, neighbor waving. He ignored Grandpa wanted legacy, not lawsuits. Added condos, our future kids planned. I ended recording. Talked to Evelyn Sharp. Dylan's screen froze on his panicked expression. Call dropped at 9:01. I emailed the file to her labeled call recording. Dylan Schuyler added notes on admissions, condo risk, mom's signature. Friday afternoon, I landed on a short domestic flight back to Tucson Wheels, touching down at 3:20. Aunt Lorraine picked me up curbside in her silver sedan, envelope already on the passenger seat. We drove straight to Harper's Hearth. The building locked since the sale, windows papered over. She parked in the alley, keyed the back door. Inside, the air hung stale with lingering yeast. Counters cleared, ovens cold. Aunt Lorraine led me to the office, knelt by the safe embedded in the floor under the desk. Combination turned slow. Grandpa's birthday backward. Click. She lifted the lid, pulled out the sealed envelope, yellowed but intact. Still here, she said, handing it over. I broke the seal. The handwritten will slid out Grandpa's script, witnessed by Aunt Lorraine, dated 3 years prior. Below it, the USB drive label faded but legible. She plugged it into the old desktop, still powered in the corner. Video loaded Grandpa at the desk apron on reading aloud. To my granddaughter, Brianna Harper. The Bakeryland recipe's full ownership. His voice filled the room. Steady, deliberate timestamp matched the paper. 2 minutes exact, ending with his sign-off. Aunt Lorraine ejected the drive, slipped both items into a plastic sleeve. Copies made years ago, but originals matter. She locked the safe, pocketed her key copy. My phone buzzed. Evelyn Sharp. I answered on speaker in Tucson, she asked. File the originals today. We drove to her office in Midtown traffic light. Evelyn Sharp reviewed the documents at her conference table, notary stamp ready. Clear chain, she noted, scanning the video on her laptop. Grandpa's intent unambiguous. She prepared the petition correction of inheritance records. Puma County Superior Court cited mismatched signatures, unauthorized transfer video testament attached bank old confirmation by affidavit 450. She e-filed from her terminal. Docketed hearing scheduled next week, unless contested printed copies for us, stamped received. Aunt Lorraine signed as witness again. Fresh date. Evelyn Sharp explained next steps. Asset freeze extension, buyer notification. Proceeds returned to estate account under your name. Dylan burst through the door at 5:15. Unannounced, face flush from running. Schuyler trailed behind, keys jingling. Heard you were here, he panted, spotting the papers. Aunt Lorraine blocked the desk. Dylan ignored her. Turned to me. Stop this. Let me pay back monthly, $5,000, 10 years. Keep the trucks running. I held the will copy. Court decides. Dylan pleaded details. Vendor deposits, non-refundable partner pullouts. Crypto tanked. Need principal to cover. He outlined a schedule on his phone. Showed amortization table. Interest free. Swear it. Schuyler nodded. Support. We'll downsize the condo plan. Evelyn Sharp interjected. Any agreement requires court approval post-verification. She slid the filed petition across. Dylan scanned, eyes widening at the video attachment summary. That old clip, Grandpa rambled. Aunt Lorraine countered, legal reading witnessed. Dylan switched tactics. Family discount, take half. Now I rebuild with the rest. He listed concessions. Rename LLC, credit me on branding. Schuyler added monthly reports. Full transparency. Dylan pulled bank alerts, overdraft notices, loan denials without release bankruptcy. Monday, I reviewed the petition signature page. Process runs its course. Dylan slumped into a chair, proposed counters, quarter upfront balance secured by truck titles. Evelyn Sharp noted each offer verbally timestamped for record. Submit formal but originals override. Aunt Lorraine gathered the sleeve. Grandpa trusted Brianna. Dylan appealed to her. You saw him daily know he wanted growth. She shook her head. He wanted the hearth protected. Security buzzed. Closing time. Evelyn Sharp escorted them out. Locked the door behind. Dylan texted from the parking lot payment plan, PDF attached desperate emojis. I forwarded to Evelyn Sharp without reply. Aunt Lorraine drove me to a hotel near the airport original, secured in her glove box overnight. Court clerk confirmed receipt by email, case number assigned. 2 months later, I stood in front of the old oven inside the bakery heat, still radiating from a test batch of sourdough. Court ruled clean inheritance records, corrected funds reversed to estate control under my name. The buyer walked away with a refund minus fees. Title reverted. I held the keys again alone in the space Grandpa built. Dylan filed bankruptcy the week prior. Chapter 7. Full liquidation. Trucks sold at auction for pennies. Crypto positions wiped in the crash. Creditors claimed the condo deposit personal loans defaulted. He texted once, starting over from zero. No reply from me. Mom called daily at first, voicemail stacking. You destroyed your brother. I listened to her blaming the system. The lawyer me family sticks together. Aunt Lorraine cited public in the group chat remnants posting old photos of Dylan helping customers. He tried his best. Their defense never wavered. I opened Messenger on the prep table group, still active despite the drama, scrolled to Mom's profile, last message. Think of Grandpa's memory. Dylan's auction notice shared for sympathy. Aunt Lorraine's prayer chain for the boys. I selected all 3. Hit remove. Confirmation pop-up. Permanently delete conversation, yes. Chat vanished. Contacts blocked. Clean cut. The ovens fired up at 4 a.m. The next day, starter bubbling from Grandpa's original jar, revived with filtered water rye flour. I measured 6 cups, folded the dough exactly as taught. No shortcuts, no online gimmicks. First loaves, proofed in linen baskets scored with a lame he gifted me years ago. Suppliers called back contracts, renegotiated under Harper's Hearth sole proprietorship. Wholesale accounts transferred smooth, no liens attached. I hired 2 bakers from the old crew part-time to start. Payroll processed through the business account, now flush with returned principal. Sign maker arrived mid-morning, ladder against the facade. Old neon dismantled, new letters installed, Harper's Hearth Est, 1965. Simple script, warm glow. Recipes stayed locked in the office drawer. Sourdough-based cinnamon swirl rosemary focaccia. No tweaks. No fusion trends. Customers trickled in, reopening day regulars hugging counters. Missed the genuine article. One time, Dylan actually showed up. He had a baseball cap pulled low, and he stood outside the window. He just watched the line of customers forming, and then he left without coming inside. The bankruptcy discharge papers were finalized. It was a public record that the debts had been erased, but my credit was ruined for 7 long years. Skylar had to take a second job to help make ends meet. Our condo dream was officially shelved for the foreseeable future. Mom mailed me a card. She wrote that she was proud of the shop. Was she still my mother after everything? I returned it unopened. Aunt Lorraine tried to reach out. She sent an email with an apology mixed with a lot of justification for her actions. I just deleted it without even reading it. There were no paths back to them. The inventory was stocked full. Sacks of flour were stacked high, and the butter was perfectly chilled. I baked through the nights, feeling that familiar exhaustion from those college summers. The profit margins were slim, but they were honest. There were no investor strings attached to anything. The community board was filled with local orders. Wedding cakes were booked months in advance. Grandpa's will hung framed behind the register. His words were visible for everyone to see. A video played on a silent loop on a tablet for any curious customers who wanted to know more. His voice was muted, but his intent was perfectly clear. The legacy was protected, not expanded upon. Justice didn't require forgiveness, it demanded boundaries. At the end of the day, I turned the open sign around, locked the door, and pocketed the keys, mine alone.